Toby, you've been with this group of Whitworth cross-country runners, the 2022 team, for a little over a week now, about a week. What have you seen? What do you like about this group? What do they bring to the table?
Yeah, it's really exciting. You kind of got the tale of two teams. You got the women's team, which is smaller, but they're growing close together because they're small, and then there's just a lot of talent. And then on the men's side, it's just a really big team, and half of it's new. Guys have never run college cross country before, and there's a lot of excitement and talent and desire to be successful. So, two different sizes of teams, but everybody that's out there wants to be there and is working hard, and we're going to have a fun year.
Talk about that dynamic of such a different size between the teams, the smaller women's team, the men's team. Does that impact cohesion? Does that impact training? How does that play out?
Yeah, our program has always been individualistic in that we're a team program, and so that's huge. That's a big part of what we do. But all that kind of stuff you can do with a small group, a big group. I think we've been doing it long enough that we're successful at it. And then it comes to the individual training component. So even with a big team, you do individual training, and then with the small team, you're doing individual training. So really doesn't matter. But we're seeing a lot of leadership amongst the younger people and the new people, which is really fun to see, and a lot more outgoing, vocal encouragement and things like that. I think just coming out of COVID and everybody wearing masks and all that for a couple years, we kind of lost that, just kind of humans lost that, and I think everybody's now kind of broken out of that and we've moved on.
Obviously, last year didn't end in the way that things typically end for Whitworth Cross Country. Has that been a motivating factor for you, for the runners? Yeah,
well, for me, definitely. I mean, the worst year we've ever had, and it was definitely an anomaly, and hopefully not the start of a trend, and we don't think it is. I love in a goal-setting meeting, guys were talking about redemption because they feel the sting of what happened, and some of these guys feel responsible, honestly, for what happened. And so I'm doing my part, the coaching staff's doing their part, and then the athletes are definitely doing their part. So I think on both programs we'll see back to where we usually are and maybe even exceed that.
The starting line for the season is Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Clash of the Inland Northwest.
Yeah.
It's a totally different kind of meet than what you face the rest of the year in terms of the distance you run, competition you face. How do you set goals for a meet like that when you know you're racing against mostly Division I athletes, higher level athletes, on a course that's really not going to dictate how they compete later in the season?
Yeah, you got to put it in perspective. I mean, when we run on Thursday, we've been together. Our first practice was a week ago today. So you're looking at 9 days of training. I mean, that 9 days of training is what it is. The kids are probably more sore than they are improved because we're doing a lot of new things, even though they trained a lot over the summer. And so it's just another opportunity to get an experience, and then an opportunity for coaches to get kind of a data point of where kids are at. Because, okay, how do they prepare? How do they compete? How do they respond when things don't go the way they want? How do they respond when they were the #1 runner in their high school and now they're the number 10 runner on the team? And so there's all these kind of things. So it's really a learning experience for everyone, and we try not to make too big of a deal of it, but also we want people to know that, our athletes to know that, hey, this is a meet, and so meets are different than practice.